bubble.
Makes sense, makes sense. All right, let's get into some bands.
My accent's
accessible.
I hear it's one of those when I hear my own like local. I like this. He's going to take the challenge. Reaps is aware of his position because he's being watched by a Valkyrie cam all the time here. They haven't dealt with it. You can see that Hoven is on that warehouse cam and he's just going to be feeding info into his team. Beautiful stuff. It comes down to a 1v1 though. As Hasham manages to go very quickly from a 1v3 to a 1v1. He's got just Turd to go up against. 35 seconds left. Diffuser down. He's going to go to collect it, but there is a serious HP advantage and Turd is on a long rotation.
This is going to be the thing, right? They haven't got the Valkyrie cameras don't have vision on what's going on inside of sight. So Turd's going to work up a safe angle where he knows that he can see at least something. They can see warehouse. They can see top of those stairs that he's just come up now, the aqua stairs. Here's where things get a little bit ropey! And Turd again, for what must be the 5th time today, comes upon...
Done that.
Dare I say, it's unforgivable when you've got a Dockerbee and a Snake on side to lose to a player that... I don't know, guys, come on. You've got all this information you brought along specifically to deal with roamers and to work your way through the map. But now they found themselves losing 2 crucial operators. The Flores going down before they can work their way through the vast majority of those drones. At least one comes back as Turd is shut down. But there's still so much work to do, and just as another scan comes on through, Guard steps up, finds yet another. Twisted Minds, they look...
Right now, they need to get themselves back into this round. Trix is having a little look if he can maybe just have a crouch walk into sight, find himself a gunfight or 2. He does, and he'll wish that he hadn't as Hoven manages to pick him up. There's a trade at the end. Apiv with the final kill. And that's going to be another round.
Though he is pretty safe out there. It'll be a massive risk for a defender to go up towards that breach. A C4 may be able to help. Last thing you want those to lose a second player here, so let's be really careful about this one. Sure enough, gonna get recovered, but no, finished off. I love the bait off the back of that. That is fantastic use of the gadget from Reaps. Draws in the res, or at least the res attempt. They get the finish off from the Thorn, the Razor Bloom, and then get a second kill off the back of it. Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant there from Weibo. The problem that Twisted Minds have got now is that they have no top floor control. So Weibo are able, they've got to be careful because the wall's open, but they can push into IT if they wish. It was quite clear from the beginning that as an attack, they were shaping up for a plant on pillar. That's where they wanted to be getting that diffuser down. They might have to just... They can't keep that top floor control, so they need to start thinking on their feet here, and it looks like that's what they're doing. They're thinking about moving over to more of a control side, but Reaps picks up guards. 3 versus 2, serious advantage for Weibo now. They've got the map control, they've got the man advantage.
They've lost a 3rd player in exactly the same position. Guards grabbed the diffuser and has died exactly where 2 of his previous teammates did on that IT breach. And now they're going to find themselves losing out on the round as Ape collects the final 2. A little
bad spots. You know, you could look at that revival attempt in front of him. He's going to know that there is now a presence, reapplies another one and just making it difficult. 2 minutes into the round. Twisted Minds haven't really made much of an impression on this attack so far until that moment. Taking down Turd. That's going to be the tuber out off the board. But how about that? A huge double nitro from Speakeasy.
I'd love to know where in the hell he's managed to throw that one in, but he's made great use of his operator. He's been patient. He's fed information to his team and has then hit a wonderful 2K out the window to get rid of both. That's the kind of stuff that you want to see. Trix now left alive against 3. It is a massive recovery effort in this round. Otherwise, it's going to be a Weibo 4-0, Tim. But once again, it just feels like they're constantly having to play catch-up. Twisted Minds. They're being reactionary to everything they're seeing, not really taking control of any of these rounds. And Weibo, in full control here, will get the closeout from Speakeasy. 4-0.
Yeah, it's a tough round for Twisted Minds. That one, the first times, feels like they've really got something building here. They're going to get that hatch open and drop into Animus with the shield and continue pressuring. Trix manages to find Reaps. 4 versus 2. I'm not sure how effective the clash is now going to be once they're all inside of sight, but it might not be the clash who has this to do. It's Turd who manages to find the first, being chased down by the Blitz. What is the answer to this shield? Turd gets aggressive, tries to get his man, can't find him. Gods gets the final kill, and that is going to be the first round on.
Far down here, top back a look at this. 4 players on the side of Weibo, all stacked up together here, expecting something to happen, and it's Hoven elsewhere who manages to get a kill. Are they baiting this out a little bit, Tim? They're always trying to bait the hit while 4 players here are all working their way down Aqua Stairs at the same time, and they've lost Hoven inside of sight. Now they've got a scatter from the north and try and pull off a retake at the same time. They try their very best, and there's one, but that is the trap being sprung. They now know where it is they're coming from. A 4 versus 3. Twisted Minds have got Diffuser down. Can they hold on?
Yeah, Weibo have just found themselves in a bad position there, trying to get back to site whilst that Diffuser was going down. They are now playing for the retake. It's 2 versus 1 though, as Jalad and Guards managed to get one apiece. It is all up to Turd. We've seen him do it time after time, but he's got one above and he's got one in front of him. Beautiful play from the Blitz to take down that Goyo canister, make it difficult. Well, I don't want to be critical, but I can translate the kind of theory or thought of it to the second half.
For now, is at least keeping them safe. A little bit of friendly fire, quite literally speaking, will keep them at bay. Guard steps out, gets rid of Turd on the Twitch. All things now even.
Yeah, that was a great little shot, just taking the head off him, leaving us now in a 4 versus 4. Just having a look at how this attack is shaping up. Hoven and Speakeasy have taken warehouse steps. Speakeasy does manage to pick up Guards from there. There's pressure then from Reaps and Ape coming in through IT. Could get a little bit one-sided this though. They've not got anybody in connector, nobody in electrical, nobody in top aqua. So they just need to take care because they're allowing Twisted Minds to kind of focus all towards those warehouse corridors. Hasham manages to take down Hoven as he tries to move across onto Catwalk to gain a little bit more of a presence there.
Yeah, they've had this now for about 60 seconds, really, Weibo. 2 on IT, 2 coming up through Warehouse onto Catwalk. They've got to be careful not to slow it down too much, or you just give the ability for Twisted Minds to put these little snapshots, although that is certainly one way of dominating the round. Smokes come out, they're going in deep, Tim. Flashes are in as well, 1 on the ground for free. It's just Hasham left by himself. Reach, though, sticking towards the plant. Get the plant down. Hasham getting one back as a bit of an overextension coming out from Speakeasy. They paid the price. Now got a 2 versus 1, but Hasham doing what he does best. Tim down his belly, looking for a peek, but doesn't quite get away with the kill. Just needs something here just to isolate out one player by himself, but I doubt they'll give him the opportunity. No, they will not. Weibo gets the first attack.
Yeah, working in comp.
That you've got to work your way through. Hasham still looking to look outside these windows, and sure enough, sees a man, but doesn't want to get away with it. Not quite able to do so. Jalad now doubling up with him. P9, he strikes first and gets rid of 2. Shield gone and the snake gone. That's a bit of a car crash for the side of Weibo. Twisted Minds, their aggression paying off.
I've asked for map control from Twisted Minds and they have delivered big time in this round. They are in charge of every inch of it. Reaps, he's recognised that there was a bit of space inside of sight. He's walked his way in there, but can't really do anything with it. Doesn't have Diffuser. He's got one man that he can challenge here, but he's going to absolutely have his head ripped off by P9 as that now goes to a 1 versus 5. Ape cannot get anything, and it's going to be a flawless round for Twisted Minds.
Stage.
I don't know if they're aware of P9 just on this garage, but yes, they are. They see the very long barrel of the TCSG, gives him away there. Reeks manages to find the kill. 4 versus 4. Speakeasy is ready to go in here and try and get this Diffuser down. He will do exactly that, and the plant starts to go through. Ape manages to find Hasham. He's holding the angle. He's on the cover. They can do nothing about it. The Solis was out of position. It's too little too late. They've got themselves now into the post plant. Weibo in position, and they are really on top of this essential round 9. Ape jumps up, manages to find his man. It's as easy as that. Picks him up as he gets through the vault. 4 versus 2 now, and they have to battle back. Twisted Minds, they have to take top floor back, otherwise Ape will just hold this from above.
Weibo looks so good on the attacking side of Labs right now. This has been another wonderful attack. It's been patient, it's been measured. They've used the Lion to control and keep them in position, but as opportunity spotted at the same time. This time around, Guards gets away with 1, looks for a second, and sure enough, 1 has fallen down here, but there's nowhere near enough time left him. That'll be Weibo going up 6-3 and with a chance to start the day off 2-0. What a wonderful first day. That
position, that was the important thing. I don't know if they had a drone that was telling them that was. Now I'm sure Twisted Minds, Jalad just in connector there, looking to hold them off from that connector wall.
Oh, not again.
He's going to drop himself away. Guards manages to repeat the feat that Weibo were able to achieve earlier. Only 1 kill, not 2, but Guards does get himself a second. Manages to find Speakeasy with a headshot. 5 versus 3.
Yeah, massive. And I say not again. It was Speakeasy, you got the 2K on that exact C4 on the pulse earlier on. Almost came back to bite them in reverse. Turd almost losing his life here. He's down to almost nothing, and Hasham handily dispatches of him. A much better round from Twisted Minds. Admittedly started by Guards, who of course it's worth remembering, Tim, was a last-minute sub for this team. He did used to play for them more full-time, back when they were Falcons, but his brother wasn't able to attend, and here he stepped in as a sub and is doing a pretty damn good job. A flawless round for Twisted Minds. Ready with a C4 in hand here. Might try and go fishing, and I think it's Speakeasy that's rounding in towards him. Indeed it is! That's the kind of C4 you got to find. I spoke about the entry, Nomad offline, and that will now free his team. As they choke on those FNAT mines, 3 of them all in one room is a little bit crazy, Tim, but it's because they knew the drop's going to come into this location at some point. Tricks getting one back, getting one more for his team. Oven being low on HP, it feels like Twisted Minds could hold on here, Tim, and take us to all 12 rounds. Yeah, it certainly does. We thought that Weibo were going to be able to close this out when they got that 6-3 scoreline, but Twisted Minds are digging deep and finding a way back. You see utility being dumped in, going to use the sound of the ram or try to, but they can't get it done in time as Sean manages to find the kill. What little HP Hoven had is taken away, and it's another flawless round for Twisted Minds. They've seriously woken up. Rounds for Weibo. Can they build on it? Self-flash on it was quite on the agenda there for Hoven, but does manage to keep a Speakeasy at bay at least for a moment. As Sean, that remains a nightmare. Jalad into another. Tim, they're like rats coming out of the walls. They're so hard to control, and just when Hoven had a golden chance to get rid of one more, it doesn't quite come to pass. It's a 4v2, and that they just know the Twisted Minds are circling. Yeah, he's still got the impact nades in pocket, so he knows exactly what he needs to do, and will do it. That's going to put the diffuser down cold on the ground. Hoven, 25 seconds. He needs to find kills here. There's no point looking for a plant. Guards is going to be the one to find him, though, and that is going to be us, Des, going to overtime. Find themselves ahead in this matchup for the first time at this rate, if they can close out this round. 1 minute left to go, and look at the power of the Soulless, just feeding that intel, just watching them at every single step. Reaps, unfortunately, sprays into his teammate, but he does find 2 along the way. I'm sure they'll forgive. 3 versus 2 right now as Twisted Minds. That time that was ticking away now feels like there's an age left. P9 with an important kill, though. Manages to find the glass from above, down through the angle, and it is all up to Reaps. He's like P4 with a little bit extra in the tank, isn't he, Tim, at times? 15 kills he's now finding himself on in the game. Reaps has got to win out a 1 versus 3. Tries to use the drone for bait, but there is no swing. There's no reason for Twisted Minds to overexpose themselves here. They're in a fantastic position. They've still got Jalad above on the Soulless as a knife. A plant attempt does go on through, but this one looks to be, as I've said, a 7-6 and a match point position for opportunity. So Sean has got himself into electrical. He's going to be looking to get aggressive. There is movement towards him. Needs to be careful. Drops a nade. Really well played, but didn't quite do the job. However, the track stinger does finish Ape off as the nade did the damage. Well played, Jalad manages to pick up Speakeasy. 4 versus 3. 40 seconds left to go. This could be the moment for Twisted Minds, but no. Weibo, they dig deep. Turd, Hoven, Turd, managing to get them back to a 3 versus 1. It's all up to Jalad. 30 seconds left to go. No option but to dash in. Tried to find the kills. He can't. We're going all the way to 15, Des. It's those names again. Dead to rights there, and they've been trying to, it's been a nightmare all game long, as we said, on the defensive side, and he remains one here. Elusive now can be added to the adjectives that he used to describe how he has been. Guards getting rid of Hoven. The sledge falls down here. That's not ideal, and up from the backside comes Jalad. Tim, they've switched off at the wrong time. This could be another kill going their way if he plays it right. There's a Shaman. Speakeasy gone. Ape falls. Weibo will fall before Twisted Minds, who have absolutely crushed them here at the dying end of things. We thought it was over at 5-2. It looks like it may well be now. Turd gets one back. I'm not quite sure that he can be the hero, Tim, of this final round. Yeah, 1v5 becomes a 1v4, and Ace Clutch is a rare thing indeed. He does have time on his side, at least 55 seconds to go. Does not have diffuser in hand. Not that he's ever going to get an opportunity to put it down, I wouldn't have thought. Not until at least another 3 kills. And you just know that right now, Twisted Minds are playing on top of that diffuser. They are playing to keep it safe. He's going to run into an absolute hail of gunfire, and surely it is now a matter of time. He just looks around at the wrong moment. Could have got the Azami, but a little bit of an approach up Aqua Stairs just took his attention. There's the final kill. Trix finishes it off, and what a performance from Twisted Minds. 6-3 down. They